Hi everyone, this is M.RAJESWARY, Assistant Professor of Zoology, PG and Research Department of Zoology, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Today we are discussing about different types of scales in fishes. Introduction. The scales in fishes serve multiple functions ranging from protection against predators of aiding in locomotion and providing important ecological information. This structure often overlooked or diverse in their forms and composition across various fish species. Understanding the different types of scales found in fishes is crucial for comprehending their evolutionary adaptations, ecological role, and even their conservation status. So, scales have fascinated scientists and enthusiasts for century inspiring studies ranging from morphology to biomechanical. They come in various shapes, size, and arrangement. So, the reflecting the incredible diversity of fish species inhabiting different aquatic environments worldwide. So, in this discussion, we will delve into the different types of scales observed in fishes, exploring their characteristics, functions, and evolutionary significance from the primitive scales or of ancestral fish lineage of the specialized scales of modern species. So, each type of unique insight to the remarkable world of fish biology. And first one is blackout scales. What is blackout scales? The blackout scales are found in the cartilaginous fishes. So, for example, shark, rays, and chimeras. So, they are also called dermal tentacles. So, the blackout scales are structurally homologous to the vertebrate teeth. Then having central, they are present in central bulb cavity to supply the blood vessels. Then surrounded by a conical layer of tentine, all of which sits on top of a rectangular base plate that rest on the dermis. So, outermost layer is composed of vitro-tantalin, a large inorganic enamel like substance. That is, then black oil scales cannot grow in size, but rather more scales are added as the fish increasing in size. So the similar scales can also be found under the head of the tentacle herring. So the amount of scales coverage in much less in rays and chimeras. So the skin of shark is entirely covered by a black-oid scales, and the scales are supported by spines which feel rough when stroked in a backward direction, but when flattened by the forward movement of water, create tiny particles that reduce hydrodynamic drag, making swimming both more efficient as well as equator compared to the bunny fishes. So the rough sandpaper like structure of shark and ray skin, coupled with its toughness, has lead it to be valued as a sources of rawhide leather called shagreen. Then one of the many histological applications of shark shagreen was in making hand grips for words. So unlike a bunny fishes, shark have a complicated thermal corset made up of flexible collagenous fibers arranged as a helical network surrounding their body. So the corset work as outer skeleton providing attachment for the swimming, muscles and thus having energy. So the dermal teeth give them hydrodynamic advantages. Other scales reduce the turbulence of swimming. And this is a Blackwood scales. One is they are present in triton spines, and they are attached into the opening of the buccal cavity. They are center present in a diamond shaped basal plate, also present. They attached to the triton spines. Gonoid scales. Gonoid scales is cycloid scales are found in bunny fishes. So contrasting with the blackoid scales found in cartilaginous fishes. So they are thin overlapping structure that cover the skin of the bunny fishes. So cycloid scales are typically round or oval in shape and have a smooth structure compared to the rough structure of the blackout scales. So these scales consist primarily of bone-like materials. So with a thin layer of enamel covering their surface. So the circular scales originated from the dermis. So they layer of skin beneath epidermis. Unlike blackout scales and cycloid scales can grow in size as the fish matures. So with new layers of bone-like materials being added over time. So the growth ring similar to a tree ring. So can often be observed in a cycloid scales, providing information about the age and growth rate of the fish. Then cycloid scales provide protections against predator, environmental adaptation, and parasites, and their overlapping arrangement helps to reinforce the skin and reduce friction as the fish move through water. So the cycloid scales are just one type of scales found in bunny fishes. Another common type is a ctenoid scale, which has serrated edges. So the presence of cycloid scales or ctenoid scales can vary between fish species, with some species having a mix or both types, or even specialized scales in certain regions of the body. So cycloid scales play a role in thermoregulation by providing insulation and helping to maintaining the fish body temperature. So they also contribute to the fish buoyancy and hydrodynamic, allowing for efficiency movement through water. So cycloid scales can be used in studies of fish ecological, population dynamic, and fisheries management. So by analyzing the growth patterns and chemical composition of scales, so researchers can gain insight to the life history and environmental condition experienced by individual fish. So the scale sampling techniques are non-invasive and can be used for monitoring fish population without harming in individuals. And yeah, this is a cycloid scale. The center portions are present in the nucleus, and outer rings concentrating lines of growth. Then tenoid scales. The tenoid scales are like cycloid scales with small teeth along their outer edges. So they are usually founded on a fish with a spiny fin rays, such as the fish-like fishes. The scales have a rough texture with a toothed outer or posterior edge, featuring a tiny teeth called tinine. So these scales containing almost no bone, being composed of a surface layer containing hydroxyparatite can and calcium carbonate, a deeper layer composed mostly of collagen. Then the enamel of the other scales type is reduced to superficial ridges and tiny. So the tenoid scales can be further subdivided into three types. First one is crenate scales. Where the merging of the scales gives intention and projections. Next one is spinoid scales. The spinoid scales, where the scales give spins, they are continuous with the scale itself. And third one is true quinoid scales. These scales are where the spins on the scales are distinct structure. So both cycloid and tenoid scales are overlapping, making them more flexible than cosmoid and conoid scales. And unlike conoid scales, they grow in a size through addition to the margin. So the scales of some species exhibit bands of uneven seasonal growth called annulae. So that is, these plants can be used to age the fish. So most ray finned fish have tenoid scales. So some species of fat fish have a tenoid scale on the eyelid side and cyclone scales on the blind side. So while other species have tenoid scales in males and cyclone scales in females. And this is denoid scales. Posterior end, the teeth are present, and the center rings are focused, and finally the posterior end grooves are bunny ridges. The small line that is present in so the denoid scale. So the small rings that is called the bunny ridge. And gonioid scale. The gonioid scales have a long evolutionary history with fossilized example dating back to the Paleozoic era. So ancestor fish, such as blackcottrons are early ray filter fish possessed conoid scales. So that 10-time layer of conoid scales is often characterized by distinct patterns of ridges and grooves, which can vary in complexity between species. The gonoid layer provides a smooth and closely outer surface, so contributing to the scale durability and aesthetic appeal. So the diamond shape morphology of conoid scales along with a rich structure provide excellent protection against predator and physical abrasion. So the lack of overlap between scales enhance their resistance to damage, ensuring the integrity of the fish productive covering. And while gonioid scales, scales are share common structural features across species, so they can significant varies in scale size, shape, and ornamentation. So, for example, in some species of gas, gonioid scales many exhibit distinctive reticulate patterns or possess serrated edges, enhancing their defensive capabilities. So, gonioid scales contribute the ecological success of fishes by providing robust defense mechanism against predation and environmental stresses. So, the presence of gonioid scales in certain species may influence their habitat preference and foraging behavior and reproductive strategies. So, some species that possess gonioid scales, such as sturgeon, are of conservation concern due to factors such as habitat loss, overfishing, and pollution. So, understanding the ecological role of gonioid scales fishes is essential for developing effective and conservation strategies to safeguard their population as an associated ecosystem. So, This is gonad scales, cosmoid scales. Cosmoid scales are considered one of the most primitive type of scales in fishes. So, which long evolutionary history, dating back to the devotion period. So, they are believed to have originated from bunny plates. So, that cover the skin of early fishes, representing and intermediately stages between true bunny or more modern scales. So cosmos scale consists of several layers, including an inner layers of bone and tantin, a middle layer of cosmoid, type of tantin unique to a cosmoid scales, and an outer layer of enamels or enameloid, and the cosmoid layers containing a network of canals that house blood vessels and nerves, providing nourishment to the scales and potentially serve sensory functions. So, cosmoid scales often have a distinct ornamentation which drive tuberous and other patches on their surface. So, they can vary in size, in shape, but typically have a more rich and robust structure compared to the other type of scales. And cosmos scales providing effective protection against predation and environmental hazards for the fishes that possess them. Then the complex structure of cosmos scales likely contributed to their durability and resistance to damage, allowing fishes to inhabit wide ranges of aquatic environments. So, coelacanths, coelacanths are a rare and ancestral group of fishes. While most other living fishes have evaluated different type of scales, the presence of cosmos scales in the coelacanth is considered a living link of an ancestral lineage, and this is a cosmoid scales and thermal tentacles. Thermal tentacles, also known as a blackout scale, are specialized structure found in the skin of the cartilaginous fishes such as a shark, ray, and chimeras. Here's a detailed look at the thermal tentacle structure and composition. So, thermal tentacles are small tooth-like structure. So, embedded in the skin of cartilaginous fishes. So, they are composed primarily of tendon, hair, and bone-like tissues, which gives them their rich structure. So, the outer surface of the thermal tentacle is covered with a layer of enamel-like substance that is called vitrotantalin, providing durability and protection and function. So the dermal tentacles are multiple functions essential for the survival and ecological success of cartilaginous fishes. So they provide protection against predators and environmental erosion, forming tough or moral like covering over the skin. So dermal tentacles also contribute to hydrodynamic, reducing drag and turbulence as the fish moves through water, thereby enhancing swimming efficiency. So distributions and arrangement. Dermal tentacles are distributed across the entire body surface of cartilaginous fishes, providing comprehensive protection. So they are typically arranged in overlapping rows with each tentacles oriented in a specific direction to optimize hydrodynamic performance and varies in shape and size. Thermal tentacles can vary in shape and size depending on the location on the body and the species of fish. So they may be more elongated and pointed along the leading edges of the fin, The body helping to streamline the fish's profile during swimming. So sensory function. The dental tentacles are inverted structure, meaning the certain nerve ending that enable sensory perception. So they can detect changes in water pressure, temperature, and vibrations, providing a valuable information about the fish's environment and potential prey or predators. Adaptation and specialization. Different species of cartilaginous fishes may exhibit specialized dermal tentacles, morphological, adapted to their specific ecological niches. So, for example, some species have a tentacles which are serrated edges or modified shapes, enhancing their defensive capabilities on or hydrodynamic reference. And biomedical and technological application. The unique structure and properties of thermal tentacles have inspired biometric research aimed at developing innovative materials and technologies. Biometric short skin surface have been studied for applications in improving the performance of water vehicle, reducing drag on aircraft, and designing more efficiently swimmer athletes. And overall conclusion. So, thermal tentacles, also known as a Lagarde scales, represent specialized structure founded in the skin of cartilaginous fishes such as shark, ray, and chimeras. This small tooth-like structure play a crucial role in the ecological success of these remarkable marine organisms. Dermal tentacles are composed primarily on dentine hard bone-like tissues and are covered with a layer of enamel-like substance called vitro, um, vitrotentine, providing a durability and protection. So they serve multiple functions, including providing armor-like protections against predator and environmental erosion and enhancing the drag and turbulence during swimming and facilitating sensory reception through the inverter structure and the distributions and arrangement of surface of the cartilaginous fishes optimize their productive and hydrodynamic properties. Variation in shape and size of tentacles reflects adaptation to a specific ecological niches and the behavior. The study of thermal tentacles has inspired biometric research leading to innovative applications in various fields such as biomedical engineering, material science, and aerospace technology also. Thank you.